Please stand the pledge of allegiance. I'm going to have Commissioner Stephanie Gonzalez.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we have our pledge of ethics, led by Commissioner Danina.
Member of the
Public schools, professional learning community, I will treat people as I wish to be treated. To do that, I pledge to understand that school community is special place. Instead of trying someone else to be my favorite, and seek and accomplish to be proper language. Dress appropriately for teaching and learning. Inspire the best of myself and others as I make successes and learning from mistakes. Thereby helping to demonstrate acts of kindness. Be a lifelong learner by taking every opportunity to learn from others. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we're going to have 4 minutes video.
We believe teachers make a positive difference in student achievement. Teachers will prepare all students for success in college, career, and our technological global society. We believe that teachers are central in a child's life. Having an effective teacher is the single most important factor in student success.
We believe that effective leaders demonstrate unwavering commitment to high levels of achievement for all students.
leaders will exemplify and support practices that promote high levels of achievement for all students.
Cherish everybody that's in this room. You never know who the person next to you is going to be and how you're going to do that. And when you teachers and counselors, they're all great people that you need to know. And you will come back here and do exactly what we do.
We believe that parents and caregivers are both valued partners and active participants in their children's learning. A shared sense of mutual responsibility for learning is the foundation of family involvement to ensure students' success.
We are committed to engaging parents and caregivers in their children's education. We will develop a coordinated strategy that enables parents and caregivers to play an active role in building and sustaining family support for their children's learning and academic success.
We believe that every member of the Louisville Public Schools team has a responsibility in producing and supporting high levels of achievement for all students.
Every member of the Louisville Public Schools team will make a measurable contribution to the success and achievement of all students by ensuring equitable distribution of resources throughout the organization. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present for this May 5th, 2016 meeting of the Board of Education. This meeting is being recorded and will become a part of the Elizabeth Board of Education permanent record. In order that the recording will adequately reflect the proceedings, please refrain from talking while others are speaking. I ask that you be silent or silent on your electronic devices. Since it is legally mandated that these proceedings be accurately recorded, I may have to ask for order periodically should noise interfere with our recording capabilities. I am pleased that you have taken this evening to join us, and thank you for your interest in the Elizabeth Public Schools.
We are here this evening to hear the public express their views regarding the proposed 2016-2017 budget in accordance with the New Jersey Statute 18A 22-13. And I quote, "On the date and at the time and place so fixed, Board of Education, the Board of Schools estimate, or the Board of Education, as the case may be, shall hold such public hearing at which time the taxpayers and other interested persons shall have an opportunity to present objections and to be heard to such budget and amounts of money necessary to be appropriated with the various items, purposes for which the same are to be appropriated for the use of the public schools in the district for the ensuring school year. Those wishing to speak for or against the budget may sign up at the start of the public speaking portion of the meeting so that they may have an opportunity to speak. The sign-in sheet states your name, address, and telephone number, and the person wishing to speak. At this time, I'm going to ask the superintendent of schools to present us with the 2016 school budget.
Good evening, everyone.
This evening, we will present to you the proposed 2016-17 budget of the Elizabeth Board of Education, a budget that has allowed us to maintain the educational improvement efforts we have put in place in recent budgets and sustain the strong academic progress our students are making. This budget also enables us to continue our work of eliminating the achievement gap and implementing the Common Core standards. Providing an equal education opportunity for all students requires funding public schools at levels sufficient to provide a rigorous curriculum in a broad range of subject areas, delivered by well-trained teachers and supported by effective school and district leaders. Despite the fact that we continue at an inadequate level of funding, we continue to seek opportunities through partnerships and grants to provide the necessary services for schools serving our high number of low-income students, our English language learners, and our students with special needs. We have worked diligently to craft a budget that prioritizes and protects the school-based instructional positions and closely aligns our limited resources with our ambitious educational ambitions. And I begin with our vision. The Elizabeth Public Schools will be one of the highest performing urban school districts in the nation. We continue to strive to be one of the nation's best, and as a large urban school district, we continue to be recognized at the state and national level. Our promise to provide an innovative and personalized learning environment that ensures that every child achieves excellence. We believe that to be a high-achieving district, it's important to have a commitment to our students, that a genuinely and widely shared, lived, and aligned with the school policies and practices, our promise statement drives everything that we do. In 2013-14, many of you will recall, I introduced the guiding principles for our school system. This evening, I will present to you how our budget aligns to the principles of the 3 E's, and more importantly, how our budget supports the nation's focus on the education for our children. Dr. John King, Secretary of Education, has shared his vision for all students, that working to ensure that every student in America, regardless of the zip code or background, has the opportunities of a high-quality education, supporting our nation's educators in elevating teaching profession, and improving access, affordability, and completion in higher education for all are the goals. But as Dr. King stated, and I quote, "There is a lot more work to do. Our efforts in 2016-17 must be measured by the progress we make towards educational opportunity for all, so that no child's fate is left to luck, no student's destiny defined by circumstances." So the goals that we have defined for our organization include include college preparedness, career readiness, and on-time graduation for every child. This led to the development of our measures of success over the next 5 years, beginning with this school year. So our district's work this year and the work that we are proposing for the 16-17 school year are going to serve as the steps necessary to strive to be able to meet these measures of success. The first one being that 100% of Elizabeth Public School graduates will meet the requirements to enter either a 2- or 4-year college, a technical school, or service to our nation, and or will hold a license or certificate enabling them to enter the workforce. This is followed by a commitment to 90% of Elizabeth Public Schools graduates will enroll in at least one advanced placement course before graduating, and more importantly, maintain a 3.0 GPA or higher throughout high school. And our commitment to striving towards having 90% of our students graduating on time. So you saw the video for our core beliefs, and that is something that we share with you at every board meeting, and it's also a practice to be able to share our core beliefs at all of our district meetings. Our Board of Education this year has committed together to the goal of creating a strong community environment that supports better schools and student achievement by using city services and resources to working with our schools and educational leaders in order to build partnerships that encourage excellence in the classroom and build neighborhoods that support academic success. Our school board is committed to a vision of high expectations for student achievement and quality instruction, and they define clear goals towards that vision. Our board is best represented as an accountability-driven and focused on policies to be able to improve student achievement. And this work begins with a very clear focus on what we believe and what, more importantly, what it is that we are committed to. So many of you in the audience are familiar with our core beliefs, and it begins with a focus on the student. And I'm going to recite the commitment statement. All means all. The fact that we will narrow the achievement gaps of students by providing a high-quality education to ensure that all of our students are college and career ready. This is followed by a focus on our teachers and the belief that our teachers are central in a child's life, that having an effective teacher is the single most important factor in student success. And that brings us to our focus on our leaders. Leaders will exemplify and support practices that promote high levels of achievement for all students. And our leaders and our teachers cannot do this without the partnership with our families. So the commitment to engaging parents and caregivers in their children's education, ensuring that we are developing a coordinated strategy that enables our parents to play an active role in building and sustaining family support for their child's learning and academic success. And lastly, team. Because regardless of whether you're on the instructional side or on the operations side, we work collaboratively towards the same goals. Every member of these public schools will make a measurable contribution to the success and achievement for all of our students by ensuring an equitable distribution of resources throughout the organization. So these core beliefs are only attainable if we're able to improve the educational access and outcomes for those that have historically been disadvantaged because of their race, ethnicity, or family income. Without the true opportunity for all, particularly those from the groups that I just referenced, we can never have a level playing field for learning, achievement, and long-term success. The Panasonic Foundation. So we are currently in our 8th year of a 10-year partnership with the Panasonic Foundation. They have served as our strategic advisors, and they work with various other districts such as the San Diego Public Schools, the Oakland Public Schools, both in California, or Highline Public Schools in Washington, as well as various other districts that have demonstrated leadership for equity and as acting on those beliefs and understandings intentionally, regularly, and systematically. Many of you are familiar with Dr. Larry Levitt, our Executive Director of the Panasonic Foundation, that reminds us that we need to be equity warriors, that people who, regardless of their role in the school or district, passionately lead and embrace the mission of high levels of achievement for all students. We also learned from 2 years ago from Dr. Pedro Noguera, who we brought into the district, and he reminds us that we must recognize the importance of equitable access and the opportunity for students as a primary starting point for creating the conditions for improved student success, and that we must act on this proposition in daily ways through our actions as well as our words. And lastly, from our recent work with Dr. Yvette Jackson, we have a firm belief in the importance of focusing on students' strengths to inspire learning and high intellectual performance. We believe in optimizing the intellectual potential of all of our urban students. So at the beginning of the school year, I introduced to our school community our strategic plan. And as you can see from the strategic map that you have before you, this represents the foundation of the organization. The core beliefs and commitments, our theory of action, our 3 E's, and then the 6 essential elements. A focus for the next 5 years on academic excellence, on achievement-focused workforce, innovation and technology, our parent and community engagement, safe and caring environment, and organizational effectiveness. We have 18 indicators that we are folding into our work for the next 5 years, and our budget supports these priority areas. So how do we define college and career readiness? I thought it was important to share with you the definition provided by the American Diploma Project. College today means much more than just pursuing a 4-year degree at a university. It's about ensuring that our students are college ready, being prepared for any post-secondary education or training experience, whether this is a 2-year or a 4-year institution leading to a post-secondary credential. And career ready. In today's economy, a career is not just a job. It's the assurance that a career can provide a family-sustaining wage and pathway to advancement, and ensures that post-secondary training or education is a part of that. So we have taken these 2 definitions and translated it into the work that our district is focused on, which I'll be sharing with you this evening. So what is our pathway to college and career readiness? Our 5-year plan, launched this past school year, was supported by the adoption of a series of focused policies and practices over time that have been aimed at student outcomes. I want to take this moment to thank the administrators and the instructional coaches that are here this evening for having contributed greatly and formed part of the decision-making that went into this body of work. The continued work of our peer leadership communities has yielded positive results. We have conducted extensive work examining our data and determined that these 5 areas that you see before you on the slide, as we refer to as 5 levers, represent an area of educational equity in the Elizabeth Public Schools. So each of these levers serves as an opportunity to increase the probability of our schools delivering predictable and robust growth. So our focus areas we began looking at since last year: literacy pre-K-3, examining 8th grade algebra, focus on high school persistence and advancement, teaching and learning in the Common Core standards, and data to drive instruction. This presentation will be able to provide a multitude of examples of the focus on these key areas. So college and career readiness at the Elizabeth Public Schools, we are incredibly proud of the college acceptances and the student success at persistence. And we now move towards becoming not just a pre-K-12 school system, but we have considered ourselves as a pre-K-16 system because we believe in the importance of tracking the success of our students beyond high school. These slides represent all of the colleges and universities that our students were accepted to this school year. So this was the graduating class of 2015. So how do we define every child achieving excellence? So the Elizabeth Public Schools declared its commitment to equity and excellence for all of its students. We are able to tell the story of our good leaders that strive for excellence to be achieved through high standards. Our good leaders that ensure that all students grow to reach their highest potential year after year and are college and career ready as high school graduates. So we launched our personalized learning plan, which essentially represents a shift in education from a teacher-centered model to a student-centered model that the teacher facilitates. Through this approach, the educators can customize lessons based on the pace and the learning style of each student and can actively engage the student by centering learning on student interest, progress, and mastery. Personalized learning is one of our key priorities to move beyond the one-size-fits-all model of schooling. So our plan includes the following strategies: enhancing the technology to engage students and to allow anytime, anywhere learning, shifting the teacher's role to support student-centered learning, renovating physical spaces to better meet the students' learning needs, and using data to inform instruction, and above all, emphasizing learning of college and career-ready skills. So this past year, we joined the Digital Promise League of Innovative Schools. We're considered one of the most forward-thinking districts of the nations, and by working together on shared priorities and partner with leading entrepreneurs, researchers, and educational leaders, we are able to pioneer innovative learning and leadership practices that lead to improved outcomes for students and that help prepare them for the learning for life. We were humbled to be recognized by President Obama at the Connect Ed conference last year as a model district because we use technology to create personalized learning environments. We have also been recognized for the computer science initiatives that we have implemented in our school district. And at the state level, we are one of 8 districts considered to be innovative, and as with the Digital Promise League of Innovative Schools, are able to partner with other school districts across New Jersey to be able to discuss innovation. As you may recall, we had implemented the one-to-one initiative for all students in grades 3 to 12, and this consists of a commitment from the school district in its budget to a 5-year lease. So on an annual basis, this is the cost for the one-to-one initiative in grades 3 to 12. I referenced before the importance of our district leveraging grant opportunities in order to be able to expand the district's work and to be able to ensure that we remain focused on our priorities. So we expanded our Teach to One initiative to 5 additional schools this year as a result of the opportunity to partner on a federal grant with new classrooms. We were able to offset the contract costs for these 5 schools. School 3, School 18, School 21, School 23, and School number 28. In addition, we had the opportunity to expand to 1 additional site for the 2016-17 school year. At this present time, New Classrooms is reviewing various elementary schools and will be able to make a decision by the end of the school year. So in all, as you may recall, we began with the Teach to One initiative at School 8, also at School 9 as a mid-year implementation, plus 5 schools this school year, and for next year, hopefully we'll be able to bring on 1 additional school. So just as information with regard to when we talk about a Teach to One environment, in terms of being able to envision what the redesign of the facilities look like, I'm going to be able to provide a visual image of what the redesigned classroom space looks like, and the learning that takes place in this environment in the form of different stations. So another example of personalized learning, Village Public Schools was approached by Pearson this year to participate in a pilot program evaluating their newest product, System of Courses. The Pearson Common Core System of Courses builds on internationally proven classroom routines, which enables our students to be able to develop learning habits and practices that ensure college readiness and universal competition. This program uses the latest mobile and digital technologies that are currently revolutionizing the manner in which our students and teachers are able to acquire and, more importantly, to be able to share knowledge. So we have the opportunity in this upcoming school year to be able to expand to additional grade levels. And this is a pilot, so therefore this offsets the significant cost to the district, which include professional development as well as the software licenses. And system of courses is currently being piloted at school number 4 in Dwyer Technology Academy. So all of this would not be possible if we did not have the appropriate infrastructure in place. As I look at our folks from the IT department, and I thought it was important to be able to share that although our personalized learning encompasses many changes to the classroom environment, we believe that technology is a key tool that's used to scale personalized learning for large groups of students, as I shared with you the model of the Teach to One classroom. So in order to be able to support our widespread usage of technology in the schools, Elizabeth Public School has spent considerable time and resources updating its technology infrastructure. And as you can see from the list that you have before you, the rollout of Microsoft Office for our classrooms, the online curriculum, the use of Blackboard, where we have all of our courses available online and made available on a 24/7 basis, the One Data Warehouse for all of our data sources, the high-quality technology specialists, many of whom are here this evening, our highly qualified instructional technology coaches. I believe we have a few in the audience, and also the opportunity to strengthen our school-based technology teams in all schools through school training and professional development. And we continue with the focus on infrastructure by ensuring that we are replacing and upgrading educational technology through Wi-Fi internet connectivity, through interactive whiteboards. This is in terms of the upgrades that will be made in this upcoming school year. And then also the cloud-based internet filtering and classroom management system known as Lightspeed. There's also a server virtualization upgrade that's going to take place, and it's the consolidation and upgrade of 35 servers to 2 high-capacity servers as a means to be able to reduce power, space, and maintenance. We continue to update and expand our one-to-one initiative as new students enroll in the district, update and expansion of staff mobile devices, and the maintenance of district technology resources in terms of our financial systems, our payroll system, budgeting system, our telecommunications, our human resources, our accounts payable system, as well as transportation, all of which use various systems that are maintained by our technology department. And it continues on in terms of the IT department's ability to support curriculum, teaching, learning, and assessment. So all instructional resources and curricular content are made available digitally, whether it's digital content library of activities or whether it's district curriculum courses on Blackboard, as I mentioned before. Inclusive are the renewal of the subscriptions and licenses of educational technology software, resources, programs, and tools, and I've listed a number of the programs that we use in our schools, whether it's eSuite, Everyday Mathematics for grades K to 6, or the My Access writing program, which is available at the elementary and also in 9th through 11th grade at the high school. EdConnect, our online assessment management system, where all of our benchmark assessments have been uploaded, and with tremendous ease in terms of being able to generate various reports to be able to facilitate the analysis of data, or BrainPop, which is a supplementary content library, or Learning.com, computer literacy online blended learning program. And you may be asking yourselves in terms of the vision for this department and how it came to be. Our district's plan is aligned to the National Educational Technology Plan by the Office of Educational Technology, and also the New Jersey Department of Education's Digital Learning Plan. And I would like to mention that our department actually co-led a training recently with the State Department in being able to introduce new technology. So the Elizabeth Public Schools District has always been firmly committed to career and technical education to meet the needs of our students and the community. And the Building Capacity for Career Pathways grant was awarded this month. The Elizabeth Public Schools will partner with Trinitas Regional Medical Center and also with Rutgers University in order to offer 2 additional quality programs of study in the Health Science Career Cluster at Admiral William F. Halsey Health and Public Safety Academy. So we begin with one course in this upcoming school year, which is the Allied Health course, and then as we continue with the grant, we have the opportunity to incorporate additional courses as well. But the value of the partnership of being able to work with Rutgers to develop curriculum and also the practice through our very own Trinitas Regional Medical Center. So we move on to AVID, also another initiative that is supported with our district's budget. So Advanced via Individual Determination is a research-based instructional model that encourages our students to be able to prepare for and participate in challenge college preparatory curriculum. So in addition to enrolling in honors and advanced placement level courses, students receive academic support through a specially designed AVID elective taught by AVID trained instructors. And we are proud to currently have 17 of our schools affiliated with this remarkable program. And next year's budget provides the opportunity for an additional school to join with AVID with the long-range goal to have all of our schools benefit from the AVID system. In addition, we have also provided AVID Pathways training to content area teachers, and in addition to further opportunities that are going to be made available through the Summer Institute. We felt it was important to not only expand the opportunity to implement the AVID model in our schools, but also ensure that we have this professional development available to all of our content area teachers to serve as a refresher and also to be able to build on their expertise to the district as a whole. So HACU, the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities. Elizabeth is a Hispanic serving institution, and we're able to provide input and discuss our district's priority problems at a national level. The benefit of the partnership with HACU is not only the exposure to the interaction with various organizations, but also the opportunities that are made available with regard to the various grants that are made available across the nation, which ensures our opportunity to further our district's work. And I mentioned Rutgers again. We have a partnership with the Joseph Cornwall Center for Metropolitan Studies, and our partnership with Rutgers has yielded a preliminary analysis on the rates of proficiency for high school students on state standardized tests that have in fact increased significantly since the implementation of our district reforms, including the longer day. So this is true for both the math and the ELA scores. This current school year, we had the opportunity to work closely with the folks from the Cornwall Center and also through the partnership with the Ford Foundation, which supports the Cornwall Center. It gave us the opportunity to be able to fund a grad tracker for this upcoming school year. Essentially, this system will be able to assist us in being able to track student progress towards graduation through the use of data that is stored in our student information system. It's a great opportunity, and it certainly will provide a multitude of opportunities for our guidance counselors and for our principals. With regard to another federal grant opportunity, the Elizabeth Public Schools partnered with Children's Literacy Initiative and was awarded a federal grant to improve the effectiveness of K-3 teachers by providing professional development, on-site coaching, grade-level meetings to conduct lesson studies, leadership meetings with principals of selected schools, books and materials on core early literacy instructional practices, and a total of 8 schools will benefit from the direct services, and we also have 6 schools that are going to be able to benefit from the instructional materials. This initiative will begin in September of this upcoming school year. Another grant opportunity in an effort to be able to offset the cost for professional development. Our district partnered with Montclair State University and was awarded the BUILD grant. And the intent of this grant is to be able to improve induction practices and policies at the school, district, and state levels. As we continue on, the Department of Education had selected Elizabeth to participate in the Supplemental Achievement Coaches Program. We were one of 3 districts to lead content development for this initiative and to turnkey training to not only our teachers, but also to 16 other school districts. The focus area for Elizabeth was recognizing the development of standard-aligned assessments and the ability to be able to share our practices across the state. And as a result of the phenomenal work that was done, we were eligible for a supplemental grant to be able to continue to support the necessary costs, whether it be curriculum writing or also professional development. That is recent news. So Fred Carrick, I think everyone knows it. I always include Fred Carrick in all of my presentations. He was the former Special Assistant to the Commissioner of Education for Literacy, and this budget continues to support the work that Mr. Carrick has done in being able to align our literacy curriculum to the state's model curriculum, and also for ensuring that developmentally appropriate curriculum is available for all pre-K-12 students. In addition, all benchmark assessments were developed with Mr. Carrick's guidance to ensure that we are identifying the skills that require our attention and our support. And from here we transition into our bilingual ESL program. So the Elizabeth Public Schools, in partnership with New York University, was awarded this past school year a National Science Foundation grant whereby all 5th grade English language learners will benefit from a science and integrated language program. And this will be launched in September of this upcoming school year. So as you can see from the information that you have before you, it is not only does this grant cover the cost of developing the curriculum, but it also covers the instructional materials as well. And in terms of our partnerships, as we continue to emphasize the importance of offsetting the cost for professional development, the bilingual and ESL division has partnered with various entities to build teacher capacity in our district. We have our supervisors that participate in the Bilingual State Advisory Committee. They serve on the state panel. We have a participation in the Newcomer Summit in partnership with the New Jersey Department of Education. We also work collaboratively with the International Rescue Committee on engaging and supporting our families and our community. Partnership with the Rutgers University, where on an annual basis our supervisors present at the Literacy Conference, and also a recent partnership with the College of New Jersey, providing opportunities for our teachers to obtain a bilingual or ESL certificate at a much lower cost. We're excited to be able to share with our community that the Elizabeth Public Schools bilingual program is expanding its services, and we are going to be initiating a bilingual magnet program for our Arabic students in this upcoming school year, while at the same time being able to maintain our bilingual magnet programs for our Hispanic students at school number 21 and for our Haitian Creole students at school number 29. In addition, being able to maintain our point of entry program for our students in grades 9 through 12 in multiple high schools. So just to be able to provide a little bit more information, we have self-contained bilingual classes in our district up through 3rd grade. Generally, when we go into 4th grade and beyond, we do not have sufficient numbers in the individual schools in order to have a self-contained classroom. So as a result, the students are provided with part-time bilingual services. The importance of the bilingual magnet program is that it provides our students full-time bilingual services as opposed to part-time, because we're able to group all of our students from across the district in these select sites. And that has been a commitment to our students. And as you can see, this program is being expanded to now include our most recent arrival students, Arabic-speaking countries. So this upcoming school year, we will be hiring 18 new bilingual ESL certified teachers in order to be able to meet the needs of our organization. And as you can see from the slide that we have before you, I list the individual schools as well as the positions that have been included in our budget. And this spans elementary through high school. Also excited to be able to share with our community that Eagles Public Schools bilingual program has been designated a state model program. Our exemplary program designation serves as an opportunity to model effective practices for our new hires. This letter just came in from the State Department, and it's really quite an honor to be able to have our program identified as a model program for the state. And once again, the ability to ensure that our new hires are being able to benefit from the practices that we have in place and the ability to be able to have a trainer-trainer model in place for all teachers. So we move on now to special services. And I'd like to begin with a focus on the partnerships. The IDEA Data Centers Disproportionality and Equity Team has developed a tool for identifying the root causes of success gaps between any two groups of students in a district or a school. A success gap is a difference in outcome or achievement between any two groups of students and can lead to disproportionate outcomes for students of an underachieving group. So the IDEA Data Center has partnered with the New Jersey Department of Education, and Elizabeth was asked to participate in this project. This is work that we are engaging in for this upcoming school year. In addition, the Division of Special Services participates in the New Jersey Autism Study that's conducted by Rutgers New Jersey Medical School in order to assist in determining the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder in New Jersey. And the partnership with the New Jersey Department of Education, Division of Special Education, will be working with the district by providing IEP facilitators to attend IEP meetings in this upcoming school year. So this represents some of the new initiatives that we have in place for the 2016-17 school year. We then move on to a focus on initiatives. And the first one being partnership with the Union County Educational Services Commission. This partnership will be to develop and pilot a robust transition program for our 18 to 21-year-old population of students with mild, moderate, cognitive, and autism spectrum disorders who have already reached their 160 credit graduation requirement, The goal is to provide students community-based instruction and structured learning experience to better prepare them for post-secondary life. These students will have functional academics and independent living skills during the school day, including career exploration and employability skills through internal and external internship experiences. The next initiative, which is new for this upcoming school year, is a crisis intervention and behavior management training program. And this is designed to support numerous institutions, especially educators and schools, in teaching effective behavioral management that will be utilized for our next school year. Modification techniques will be implemented within the Behavior Disability Program. The program will teach staff how to effectively de-escalate children's behaviors during a crisis. This will be a train-the-trainer model to ensure we can expand as needed throughout the school year. With regard to the expansion of our programs, currently the district utilizes Rethink, which is a research-based program for supporting students with disabilities in self-contained programs through fully included settings. The goal for the upcoming school year is to be able to expand this program through grade 12. And ACE, which stands for the Autism Curriculum Encyclopedia, is also being expanded. This is a product of the New England Center for Children, and it's utilized in our district's self-contained autism classrooms and provides an interactive database containing assessment tools, lesson plans, teaching materials, and student performance reports. This system is also going to be expanded through 12th grade. Touch Math, which is a multi-sensory math program that makes critical math concepts appealing and accessible for students who struggle to understand grade-level content. Essentially, the program gives children a head start. It can supplement a grade-level curriculum, which provides enrichment activities, reinforcement, and achieves the best possible outcomes for students with special needs. Touch Math is an intuitive process designed by and for young learners, and it will also now be utilized through our upper grades. And Handwriting Without Tears. The Handwriting Without Tears curriculum draws from years of innovation and research to provide developmentally appropriate multisensory tools and strategies for the classroom. This program is going to this program actually follows research that demonstrates children learn more effectively by actively doing, with materials that address the styles of learning. This program will be utilized in our K-8 self-contained programs. And we move on to the summer program offerings for our students. The first being Reading is Essential for Adolescent Development, and it's for students with IEPs in grades K to 3. The program provides research-based literacy interventions to identify special needs students who are struggling in reading. Students participate in activities that increase the intensity of instruction and practice with very specific literacy skills. Sunday, Reading Street, Leads, Leveled Readers, and DRA are used as pieces of this program, which represent our curriculum of literacy. The next program, Algebraic Thinking. It's for students with IEPs in grades 6 to 8. Students have the opportunity to explore and examine multiple representations of functions through the use of technology and hands-on activities, and our students will be encouraged to reason and provide proof as they are making their thinking visible. The district offers programs for students with IEPs that are not IEP-driven in the areas of mathematics and reading during the summer. All of these programs are based on parent application and teacher recommendation. And let me point your attention to Developing Mathematical Understanding, which is for students with IEPs in grades 4 and 5. This program is designed to assist our students with special needs to analyze mathematical tasks and be able to investigate multiple approaches to solving problems. So our students are provided with strategies that foster self-monitoring and communication language that supports math talk. Positive behavior in schools. New Jersey Positive Behavior in Schools is a collaboration between the Department of Education, Office of Special Education, and the Boggs Center on Developmental Disabilities. Rutgers, Robert Wood Johnson Medical School, and in essence, PBSIS is an initiative that builds capacity among school personnel and is currently operating in 7 schools this year. Next year, the district will be expanding this initiative to several additional schools pending the Department of Education's availability and approval. So as you can see from the information on the screen before you, we launched in 13-14 at 3 schools, in 14-15, 2 additional schools. This past school year, this current school year, in 2 schools, and we hope to be able to bring on board 2 or more additional schools in the upcoming school year. But if I may, I'd like to share with our school community that George Washington School Number 1, who has been selected to participate as a showcase school, and Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy has also been selected as a showcase school. They're going to be featured in the high school implementation session at the 2016 New Jersey PBSIS Annual Leadership Forum that is scheduled to take place on June 1st at the Conference Center in Mercer. So I wanted to be able to share with you the accolades as it relates to School 1 and our Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy with their implementation. In terms of the expansion of our programs for this upcoming school year, we will be expanding by adding 3 additional learning language disabilities self-contained classes at the sites that you see before you. So it's always important to be able to talk about the progress that we are making towards our goals. Our graduation rate rose by 20% since 2011 to 78%. Our AP enrollment has grown since 2011 from 527 to 1,863, which represents a growth of 254%. The number of AP exams administered has also grown from 2011 from 963 to 3,287, which represents a growth of 241%. And our SAT exams administered has increased since 2011 from 720 to 2,553, representing a growth of 255%. So in recognition of the great work that is taking place, the Elizabeth Public Schools is actually one of 130 districts across the U.S. that are being recognized for creating opportunities for traditionally underrepresented students. The districts featured on the honor roll have expanded access to higher education by providing students with rigorous academic offerings and innovative college-prepared programs. We have demonstrated as a district a significant and consistent growth in the number of underrepresented and low-income students taking college-level courses and applying to 4 or more colleges. So just a couple of months ago, we received this designation of the Opportunity Honor Roll for 2015 by the College Board. And also to be able to share with our community, as I did at this past board meeting on April 21st, that 4 Elizabeth Public Schools high schools were selected to America's Most Challenging High Schools by the Washington Post. And we're really proud to announce that our Thomas Jefferson Arts Academy and our Johnny Dwyer Technology Academy now join the Elizabeth High School and the Alexander Hamilton Preparatory Academy. So our focus in the new strategic plan is to increase our dual enrollment opportunities, thereby ensuring that our students graduate with college credits. So let me begin by introducing the new partnerships that are funded in the 16-17 budget. Partnership with New Jersey City University and the Academy of Finance to offer students the opportunity to graduate with college credits. Partnership with Union County College and all high schools to offer students a math boot camp summer program, as well as the opportunity to graduate with college credits in the field of mathematics. And this budget also maintains the partnership with NJIT and the Dwyer Technology Academy, offering students the opportunity to also graduate with college credits. And this is really a focus for our district. As I stated before, we believe we are a pre-K-16 school district, not just a pre-K-12. We need to be committed to ensuring that our students graduate with not only the 160 high school graduation credits, but also are graduating with sufficient college credits so that they can be successful as they continue with their post-secondary careers. So we invest a great deal of time in discussing college and career options for our students and their current level of interest in coursework. We have expanded our offerings and rebranded high schools as a result of this work. I'm happy to announce that we have the opportunity to create 9th grade academies that are considered effective reform strategies to increase graduation rates. So the first one, as you can see before you, is the opening of a 9th grade academy that will serve 215 Thomas Edison Career and Technical Academy students. This 9th grade academy will offer our avid courses and the opportunity to prepare all students for college and career. So our 9th grade will be based in this 9th grade academy, and the main building of Thomas Edison will serve grades 10 to 12 and affords us the opportunity to be able to expand our enrollment. The next being the opening of a 9th grade academy that will serve 225 Admiral William F. Paulson Jr. Academy of Health Science and Public Safety students, offering added courses, and once again, a college and career curriculum is available in all of our high schools. Very excited to announce the opening of a new high school that will serve 550 Academy of Finance students, providing a college and career preparation program that integrates the theme of business and finance into an academically rich instructional course sequence. So at this time, the Academy of Finance is part of the Policy, Health, and Public Safety Academy. It is a National Academy Foundation program and has really demonstrated tremendous success, and we felt that this was a great opportunity in order to add a 7th high school to our ever-growing school district. And equally excited, I think I've used excited about 20 times already, equally excited is the opening of the Frank J. Sickerell Academy, offering the capacity to serve 1,280 students of Elizabeth High School at our new location. This actually is a shot that was taken yesterday as the construction of this high school is being completed, and it is really quite amazing. We celebrated the official designation of school number 26 as an international baccalaureate school. School number 26, which we continue to maintain, has been a candidate school for 2 years, and following a rigorous review of standards, the designation was made official, and we continue to support this program and hope for the expansion in future years. That's not the end, though. We have more. So this slide is particularly important to me because I've always said this, we cannot do this work alone. We receive outside support from a variety of organizations, largely in the form of technical assistance to inform, support, and also, most importantly, to be able to nurture our reforms. And this slide is representative of the various partnerships that we have, and it's really exciting work, and so many amazing individuals that work with our district day in and day out to help support the work that we're doing with our students. So the development of the current budget begins in the fall of the previous year, and although the final amounts for local, state, and categorical funds are often not available until late in the process, the budget development must allow district administration time to align anticipated resources with goals and objectives. School budget preparation begins with the forecast of future year enrollments and district-wide revenue projections. We develop a budget that uses the district maximum revenue limit. After the schools and departments complete their proposed budgets are adjusted to ensure that the priorities of the schools and the district were addressed in accordance with enrollment, programs, and equitable need. So there is essentially 3 focus areas of a budget preparation. The first one is success for all students. All students can achieve success, and our job is to ensure that every student has the opportunity to do so. For our students, our teachers identify areas requiring attention, they put measures in place to address them, and they closely monitor progress so students can achieve the standards that we expect. Teachers build on the strengths of students and extend their achievements. The second area of focus in the budget is high-quality teaching and leadership. So the basis for improving student learning outcomes is high-quality teaching and leadership, and this includes expanding investment in professional learning and supporting district-based and school-based professional learning communities. And the third, a capable and responsive organization. So using our resources wisely and making open and transparent decisions builds school community confidence in what it is that we are striving to do. So performance will be managed against outcomes, priorities, and targets, and technology, research, and innovation will be used to drive that change. So as you can see from the screen before you, student enrollment projections are a major consideration when we are developing the budget over the district and and the school level. Student enrollment drives the level of state and federal funding that Duluth Public School receives. In addition, enrollment drives the revenue each school receives. Not only is enrollment significant to funding levels, but it is a determining factor in the number of instructional and support staff needed to provide educational and supportive services to our students. The chart that you see before you shows the actual enrollment of Duluth Public Schools over the past 15 years. So you can see the starting point in 2001, 2002, in terms of the total, which was 20,062 students. And if you fast forward to our current school year, we are currently serving 27,417 students. So quite a significant growth in time. And as you can see specifically on the chart, a significant growth from 2011-12 to the present. So this past school year, we grew in enrollment by 290 students. Our projected increase in enrollment for next year is 823 students, and that's essentially the formula that we have used each year for budgeting, which is based on the total enrollment times 3%. Overall, in this presentation, I talked about the need for additional instructors in our schools. The total number is 24 K-12 professionals needed in the new budget. We talked about the bilingual ESL needs. We talked about the expansion of our self-contained special needs program. And in addition to that, we are adding 2 additional language arts teachers at the elementary level and 1 mathematics teacher for a total of 24 new positions that have been funded in the 2016-17 school year. So I am now pleased to be able to turn the presentation over to Mr. Harold Kennedy, our school business administrator.
Good evening, members of the board, members of the public, and school-based administrators and district administrators. Thank you for giving me the opportunity this evening to give you an overview of our budgeted revenues, our budgeted appropriations, how that translates to the per pupil basis, and as the business office and as Mrs. Sugemeyer spelled out, it's a team effort, primarily driven by all the administrators in the district putting forth their wishes and needs for the district. The business office pretty much using the state software becomes almost a scorekeeper, recording where those needed expenditures go, and ultimately what you have before you this evening on paper is the results of the advertised budget and coded out in accordance with the Department of Education. So we start with, as Mrs. Sugemeyer said, we get our budgeted revenue in in late February. So prior to that, starting in September, we're building our expenditures in anticipation of what our anticipated revenues might be. So here's the results for 16-17. We received $419,174,350 in state aid. We received $16,142,314. We're anticipating receiving. We're anticipating miscellaneous revenue of $1,065,387. And we're anticipating a tax levy of $59,813,124, which if you look over to 15-16's tax levy is the same dollar amount. Another important thing is we have no debt service in our tax levy because we have no long-term debt on our balance sheet. All the buildings that you see going up have gone up, have been fully funded by the state of New Jersey for the residents of the city of Elizabeth. The last item is the fund balance appropriated of $11,326,747. What that represents is unspent money from the current 15-16 school year that rolls over to fund our 16-17 school budget. So five main sources of revenue, adding up to a total of $507,521,922 in comparison to $502,094,775 and 15-16. This is what those five different sources of six different sources of revenue look like in a pie formation. The biggest portion of our revenue, budgeted revenue for 16-7 comes from state aid. 419, 174, 350, 82.6%. The next largest is the tax levy of 59,813, 124. Once again, the same tax levy as last year, no increase in taxes, representing 11.8% of our revenue. The next one is federal aid, representing 3.2%, 16,142,314. The fund balance appropriated, as we said, that's the money left over from this year that we're going to program for next year, 2.2%. And miscellaneous revenue of $1,065,387.2%, which is primarily money that we get from the E-rate program, which is when we purchase equipment and things to maintain our infrastructure for technology and communications, the federal government will refund a good portion of that money. So once we have the revenues set, we go about generating what our budgeted expenditures are. And once again, in New Jersey, you have to have a balanced budget. So our revenues, budgeted revenues were 507,521,922. And that's exactly the expenditures that we plan to budget in 16-17. What are those made up of? Starting at the top of the chart, administration in the district. 15,803,130 compared to 17,409,941 last year. Operation and maintenance of plant, 47,427,378 in comparison to last year's 44,990,705. Other, which is primarily, well, I can show that on the next chart right now. 39,108,771 versus 41,591,664 last year. And instruction, where the money needs to go. 405,182,643 versus 398,102,465 for a total of, balancing with the revenue, 507,521,922. What does that look like in the chart again, the 507,521,992? The biggest piece is instruction, contribution to whole school reform, which is school-based budgets. We have two budgets in our district. We have one for the central office and administrative departments, operating departments, plant, technology, security, so on and so forth. And then each school has their own budget, so we call that school-based budget, and the state of New Jersey uses the nomenclature contribution to whole school reform. That 405,182,643 is 79.8%. What is that made up of? 405,182,643. Regular instruction, which is primarily primarily, hold on one second. It's easier for me to use my chart. Regular programs is made up of $21 million, which is primarily district-based salaries for teachers, substitutes, about $7 million. The technology that Mrs. Hubenmeyer talked about before, which is another $8 million. And the balance of that goes towards district centralized purchasing of supplies, materials, and textbooks. So that all adds up to $26 million. Support services, $32,773,715. Special ed, $34,779,405. Co-curricular and athletics, $2,599,283. State and federal programs, $60,345,344. The contribution to whole school reform, the school-based budgets, $248,404,582. And special schools, we do have some students attending charter schools out of district where we pay tuition of $267,333. All that adds up to the $405,182,643, 79.8% of our budget. Administration is another component of our expenditures, $15,803,180, or 3.2% of our budget. Operation and maintenance of plant, $47,427,378, or 9.3%. And other, $39,108,771, which is primarily our adult education, $339,093. Employee benefits, $20,911,332. Transportation, $17,847,271. And a capital outlay of $11,075. All adding up to a total expenditure equal to total revenues, $507,521,992. What does that look like on a per pupil basis? Our total comparative per pupil cost is calculated by the Department of Education. When we load in all the expenditures, their software calculates it for us, is $16,284 in 16-17. That's comprised of classroom instruction of $9,959 per student, equipment costs, community services and charter schools, $63. Operation and maintenance of plant, $2,343. Athletics, co-curricular and extracurricular activities, $135. Support services, which is attendance, health services, guidance, child study team, the library and educational media services, and professional development for our teachers and staff. And administration, $1,358. That's the central administration, school administration, business services, human resources, and our telephone and postage charges. All those add up to, once again, the $16,284 per pupil. As I said before, the administration was $1,358, and the state of New Jersey caps your administration. You can't spend more than the regional cost per student, which is $2,138 in the Northeast. So if you compare Elizabeth Public Schools of $1,358 to the allowable $2,138, we're spending less on per pupil administration costs than the New Jersey regional costs. As I said before, the 2016-17 budget and the levy proposal was all in accordance with the budgeting procedures promulgated by the state of New Jersey. Once the March 17th meeting happened and the board approved board approved the submission of the preliminary budget. Prior to us being able to advertise, it went through a review by the county superintendent and the county business administrator. We got permission to advertise. We did on April 29th in the Star Ledger. And then the next thing up was the public hearing that we're attending tonight. That's my presentation. Not too exciting number-wise, much more interesting listening to the educational pieces and what we're going to do with the money.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. So at the beginning of our presentation, I introduced to you the partnerships, the various grants that we have pursued in an effort to be able to offset a lot of the costs that we would not be able to otherwise support in an underfunded budget. And that's why we have pursued all of these opportunities. Now, this portion of the presentation, we're going to go into great detail with regard to all of the items that are in our proposed 2016-17 budget. And it begins with the category of programs and services. So once again, just to reiterate with regard to the process for the development of our budget, we begin with a class size analysis. We then proceed to engage all of our principals in face-to-face meetings. We review all of the curricular inventories and requests that are made by our schools. We then conduct face-to-face meetings with all instructional and operations directors. And finally, we conduct a comparative analysis of the expenditures for the current school year versus the proposed budgets. The budget review process is then initiated. We conduct a line-by-line department budget review. The allocations of funds within the school-based budgets based on enrollment, programs, and equitable need are reviewed and finalized. And then ultimately this year we had a final review by our forensic auditor prior to presenting the budget. Programs and services for K-12. We talked about the new staff for K-12 to address the increase in enrollment, which were the 24 positions that I mentioned, and also included in that is the expansion of our bilingual magnet program. We have new instructional supplies, equipment, textbook for the anticipated 3% increase in our new students in our schools. And in terms of our active programs that are funded, we continue to support the extended day at the high school level for our students, refurbishment of instructional materials for all of our content areas. Our language arts literacy online writing program has been expanded through grade 11. Extensive elective offerings are supported, and the necessary revisions of curriculum for all content area are also included in this budget. What we are maintaining is the refurbishment of instructional materials. The eSuite Deluxe that we talked about is the Math Core program for K-5. Our magnet programs, as mentioned earlier, our International Baccalaureate initiative at School 26, eBooks, our Point of Entry program, our National Academy Foundation partnership, and our STARS tutorial program for the athletic division. What is new in this budget is guided reading, including multicultural materials for all of our schools, writing time for kids, specifically to support literacy in grades 4 and 5, fairy tales with nonfiction for grades 1 and 2, text connections for grades 4 and 5, and lead to novels. We're adding 2 additional titles district-wide for grade 4. Under Safe and Caring initiatives, we continue to support alternative programs for our at-risk learners, mentoring programs at the middle and high schools, Check and Connect initiative at the high school, our maintenance of equipment, contracted nursing, speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy services, student drug screening, nursing supplies and equipment, sign language interpreter services, substance abuse coordinator services, our high school Saturday detention program, our high school Saturday attendance program, and new included in the 16-17 budget is our American Red Cross CPR training for our teachers. In terms of home and school relationships, we continue to support our K-12 central registration. communication materials and brochures that are designed to promote our school and our district programs, our website and video channel promoting activities, student and parent handbooks, newsletters, district website, our operation of video channel, PowerSchool, which serves as our student information system, the learning management system, otherwise known as iLeap Next Gen, which is the use of Blackboard, where all of our curriculum and lesson plans are stored, our community education program, community services, which include high school registration that takes place in the summer, our junior and senior seminars, parent seminars, cell phones for our home instructors and attendance officers, and IUP Direct. Academic safety nets, our summer programs, which include our promotion retention program in grades K to 8 for all of our schools, and our summer remediation and advanced credit at the high school level. After school, Saturday school remediation and enrichment programs, which include continuing to support our after-school enrichment program in all of our K-8 schools, our Saturday SAT prep program at the high school level, our Apex online credit recovery program, our Saturday recreation programs in partnership with the Division of Special Education, and our high school after-school clubs. And in terms of academic interventions, under maintenance is the Avid K-12. However, what is new is the Agile Minds summer program specifically for 7th and 8th grade students to provide a further support in Algebra 1 instruction. Programs for special education students, I reviewed this in our previous initiative in terms of the new programs that we are going to implement. But we continue with the maintenance of our IEP program for special ed K to 12, our 504 related services, our extended school year program, the contracted services for speech, OT, PT, and ABA services, Rethink, I mentioned earlier, the new partnership for transition with Union County Ed Services Commission for our students ages 18 to 21, the Autism Curriculum Encyclopedia, and the Handwriting Without Tears, as well as the mention of our programs for our bilingual education students as listed on the screen before you, the expansion of Bilingual Magnet, and our continuing to support our point of entry program for our high school students. Home instruction, continue to support in the 16-17 budget, contracted providers, our hospital home instruction, and our after-school home instruction. And then, of course, a reference to the extensive list of partnerships, which I referenced some in the earlier portion of this presentation, but as you can see here, a number of partners that are working with our schools this school year. In terms of after-school and summer programs, in terms of academic support, after-school enrichment programs, our summer promotion retention, our reading is essential to adolescent development, de-algebraic thinking, Saturday recreation program, and I talked about the developmental math understanding program. And then at the high school level, as you can see, specifically the programs that I referenced earlier that fall specifically under this category. In terms of athletic and co-curricular programs, we have our athletic summer camps, our middle school intramural sports programs, our high school athletic program, summer band camp, our teen arts program, our summer arts institute for our students, music theater orchestra, the New Jersey State Police Top Physical Challenge, the Play 60 initiative launched at the beginning of the school year, and the YMCA Health Week. And then at the high school level, as you can see, once again, the expansion of the programs that I mentioned before. And under programs and services in the category of student assessments, we continue to support the various formative and summative supplies that are necessary to support the various assessments that you see before you, as well as the importance of ensuring that we're providing the translation of our student assessments for all formative assessment benchmarks, for our student growth objectives, as well as for our portfolio appeals. So under raising standards and expanding opportunities, and under the category of career and college readiness, we once again a reference to International Baccalaureate, reference to the Naviance for College and Career Readiness 9 through 12, our partnership with NJIT, as well as the Middle States Accreditation Fee on an annual basis. Visual and Performing Arts Enrichment, I referenced the Teen Arts Program, our Summer Arts, Music Theater, and our High School Performing Arts Program. And those resources that are needed to close the achievement gap, I shared with you earlier in the presentation, the expansion of our AVID program, the National Academy Foundation partnerships, our special education interventions, and the focus on the K-1 guided reading program. As we continue to focus on raising standards and expanding opportunities, the update to our K-12 library media programs in the form of ebooks for K-12 and our digital holdings for K-12, resources to enhance educational opportunities. We have funded the field trips in support of district partnerships and initiatives, and I'd like to take this moment to be able to recognize the amazing work that our PTO and PTA presidents have done to be able to ensure that the appropriate fundraising is taking place in our schools, to be able to support our students in other areas such as field trips outside of what the district supports in the form of supporting partnerships and initiatives. The review of instruction, our eye-observation system, which is essentially for all of the evaluations for teachers and administrators. The review of and revision of our ESL programs, our ESL offerings. And of course, under the category of review of special education programs, or IEP review. Literacy training, I mentioned before the work that we're doing with the former special assistant to the commissioner, Fred Carrig, and our fall, winter, and spring teaching and learning institutes to address literacy. In terms of math, we see a similar approach with our on-site coaching as well as the learning institutes. And the resources for social emotional is the guidance and social worker services, as well as behavioral on-site coaching for special ed in grades K to 8. Under data resources, essentially the analytics and the resource lists that are required for student data for submission to the state. In the category of building professionalism and resources, we have our New Teacher Network induction programs, and our partnership with Montclair State University Network for Educational Renewal, the BE4NJ Educator Evaluation Effectiveness, our Teacher and Leader Evaluation Professional Development, and under professional networking on best practices and new pedagogies, we have our annual Welcome Back for our administrators, as well as for our teachers, our partnership with the Panasonic Foundation, conference travel, the AVID, the International Baccalaureate, and peer leadership community and networks. To support the continued focus on the harassment, intimidation, and bullying law, we have suicide prevention training for school psychologists and nurses to turnkey bullying prevention programs. And under professional development, as you could see, continued focus on differentiated instruction, personalized learning environment, alternative proficiencies, the American Red Cross CPR, behavioral training, as well as inclusive training for special ed, and continued training being provided for all of our nurses district-wide. Under capital and maintenance projects, the building and infrastructure improvements for the upcoming school year include sidewalk repairs and improvements, partial roof replacements, HVAC systems, boiler repairs, floor repairs, improvement of lighting systems at various schools, playground asphalt, exterior wall repairs. And lastly, in terms of programs and services, transportation services to support the academic needs for all special needs students and students that live outside of a specified area. We have transportation for all of our special needs students, courtesy for students attending magnet programs, preschoolers that live outside of a specific area are transported, transportation for homeless and displaced students, as well as transportation for our foster children. And the final portion of our presentation is dedication to the district accomplishments, school accomplishments, and the various accolades. So Elizabeth High School was named this year, 2015, National Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education. High School in Hamilton, among the best high schools according to the U.S. News and World Report. like to be able to recognize the New Jersey Schools of Character. We're all very familiar with Juan Pablo Duarte Jose Julian Martí School number 28 having received this designation before they moved on to the national designation. But I'd also like to make special mention that Nicholas S. LaCourte Peterstown School 3 is now a New Jersey School of Character, together with the Donald Stewart Center for Early Childhood School number 51 as well. So special congratulations to the schools. And the news, which is not even 12 hours old, is that School 51 is now joining School number 28 as a National School of Character. So special congratulations. School number 20 has been named as an emerging New Jersey School of Character. So special congratulations to School 20. And to be able to focus on our highlights of our athletic programs, the successes from the fall of 2015, the Star Ledger had reported on our Elizabeth High School boys soccer, Group 4, North 2 state champions. Number 7 in New Jersey, number 5 in Group 4, number 2 in Union County. And in terms of our all-states boys soccer teams, the 2 students that really were just amazing work that they did, followed by the Star Ledger's Elizabeth High School football, the all-group 5 football. In reference to our 2 students that were 13 offense players. Attention to the winter highlights. The NJSIAA Wrestling Region 3 tournament. Our 3 students that placed 3rd place. Special recognition for them. And the importance of the focus on our music department. EPS was named as the best community for music education by the NAM Foundation, and special recognition for our educators. EPS shines at the Union County Teen Arts Festival Gallery, just incredible work that our students did and displayed. We have incredible talent in our district. And a recognition of the 4 Elizabeth public schools that were recognized as Let's Move Active Schools for transforming into healthier places for students and team members. School number 26, school number 27, school number 29, and Alexander Hamilton Preparatory Academy. Followed by the Alliance for a Healthier Generation, all Elizabeth Public Schools that were eligible. A total of 32 schools have now received Healthy School Awards. And the Elizabeth Schools was the first school district in New Jersey to have all schools receive recognition. To earn the national recognition award, these schools improved their nutrition services and physical activity programs to meet or exceed very stringent standards that were set by the Alliance for a Healthier Generations Healthy Schools program. So special recognition for all of our schools and what it is that they have accomplished. And just a reminder that as you travel through all of Elizabeth, we have our Love Our Schools, which is an equity-based initiative that is designed to highlight the programming throughout our school districts. I think I have several schools that I have to update this summer with regard to the various initiatives that will be implemented in the new school year. And just in closing, a special recognition for the incredible work that all of our administrators and our teachers do each and every day. All of our team members, whether it's custodians or our security guards or our food service workers, our amazing administration, the incredible leadership of our Board of Education. And this concludes our budget presentation. Copies of the 2016-17 budget are on file at our Board of Education Mitchell Building at 500 North Broad Street, where you also, after this evening, the proposed budget. It is in fact posted on the district's website, and we'll make the information available to you. Thank you very much.
At this time, the microphones are open for those wishing to speak for or against the budget who are signed in prior to this session. I shall call individuals to the microphone based on the order of the signing. Each statement made by the participant shall be limited to 3 minutes in duration. The total time of public comment shall be limited to 60 minutes. No individual is able to yield time to any other individual. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question a board member individually. The following rules for the public participation shall apply. Time limits shall be strictly enforced. No personal attacks on individuals. No vulgar or indecent language. A person may address the board no more than once during a single meeting. Speakers should refrain from naming individuals, and comments or questions posed during public participation will not be debated. As a reminder, this is not a debate nor an audit, but an opportunity for our citizens to present objections and to be heard with respect to the budget. Our first speaker is Ms. Christina Lorenz.
Good evening. In honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, we at Elizabeth Parents and Students Care extend our sincerest thanks to those teachers who go above and beyond for our children, who are the friend to a child who is being bullied, who are the parent to a child who may not have one, who are the voice for a child or a parent who is afraid, to those who spend their own money for school supplies to make sure that every child has what they need, who knows which child may not have clothes to wear and brings them in, who puts in money for a child to go on a trip because they know that parents can't afford it, to the teachers who wipe a child's tear because they know they're having a bad day, to those who walk into their building every day knowing that they're going to be bullied, intimidated, or harassed, not supported by their administration or education association, but you come anyway. You come for our kids. We salute you, we thank you, we support you. Now, I would like for the third time to address the high levels of lead found 3 years ago in many of our schools that were not reported to parents at the time. We spent $35,000 with detailed association in Inglewood. What line item in the budget will be addressed for issues for testing and water remediation? There have still been no notices sent to parents indicating their school's high level of lead, which was not fixed at their school, and what continues to be done to monitor the rest of the fountains. Still no indication as to when more testing will happen, just that the board is looking into it. What is the protocol for monitoring? Saying periodic doesn't count. This district knew the results 3 years ago and failed to inform parents, putting children's health at risk and leaving parents in the dark. Parents who could not have their children tested and identified for any issues over 3 years. Will there be money in the budget for that? Even low levels of lead in the blood of children can result in behavior and learning problems, lower IQ and hyperactivity, slow learning, hearing problems, and anemia. It is also included in the budget to test our kids, and why not? School readings above the recommended 0.015 milligrams, where Winfield Scott number 2 had 1 fountain, Maple G. Holmes had 2 fountains and 3 that weren't working, Terrence C. Riley had 1 above and 1 very close, Elmore number 12, 1 fountain, Abraham Lincoln, 3 fountains, Nicholas Butler, 1 fountain, and 4 very close or at level. Dwyer and Halsey had 5 fountains, 5 samples were lost by the lab. Upper Academy had 1 fountain, Hamilton 1, and Aboff 4. Edison 2, and the Mitchell building had 1. Also interesting to know is that school number 28, where 5 water fountains at that time were not working, and 4 of them were by the gym where the kids are most likely to drink them. When is this board going to put our children first? Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to call Ms. Maria Lorenz.
Good evening. I'd like to say that first, when I went to seek for the budget, it's kind of ridiculous that it took 4 women to get access to a budget that should have been posted online. I think that's absurd. In reviewing the budget, I find it appalling that more money is spent in school-sponsored athletics than it is in special education instruction. I'd also want to say that I wonder if under community services, programs, and operations, you have a line item for CPAC to pay for speakers and send parents to conferences. But then again, I have to remind myself that we don't have a functional CPAC because this year, you have no parent input. However, I want you to feel free to utilize the input that I've been providing you for 2 years in board meetings. In 2014, 197 kids went out of district. In 2015, 196. That means you brought one child back. And you predicted for this upcoming year that 14 more kids will go out of district. That's a number of 210. We have an increase of 58 kids estimated to be classified this school year. That's 2,505 actual number of kids classified with a disability. My question is, why have we lost $802,000 in extraordinary aid from the state? Just for clarification, extraordinary aid is applied for by this district and it is used to assist districts with students that have high educational costs. The student must be classified and be between the ages of 3 and 21. A district must demonstrate that the student's IEP requires the provision of intensive services. The following categories, I noticed, can expect reductions. $1.4 million in general administration, $240,000 in school administration, $93,000 in attendance and social work, $28,000 in central services, $241,000 in info technology, and $11,000 in health services. I'm not sure if these are jobs or services that you're cutting because it is not specific. In addition, I want to know under facility acquisition and construction, what projects are being included in the budget to support air conditioning, such as the one that's missing at School 15, and the trailers that need updating. I also am not clear on what non-public security aid is, since we're spending $33,000 to fund it for the first time, and where did $112,000 under other category that hasn't been funded in the past 2 years go? There's also been a cut in adult basic education, and I see that the district does a lot of revenue generating income by the use of facilities, to be exact, $103,824,000 year to date. So I would like to know exactly how much does it cost to maintain these facilities that we rent out to other districts. Thank you.
At this time, I'll call Maria DeRossi.
Good evening. I came here to speak on the budget, but I'm not given the full budget. It's supposed to be 47 pages. Why do I only have 9? You know, this ain't a full budget. I can't even vote yes or no on it because I don't know what the rest of it is about. So can somebody explain why the parents only get 9 pages out of 47? Is there a way that we could get the full budget package so us parents could see what's really going on, not coming here to see, you know, a slideshow? I think as a concerned taxpayer, I have the right for that. Kennedy, can I get that for you, or do I have to go to the Star Ledger again to get the copy of the budget that you sent me to on Friday?
The full budget will be up on the web tomorrow. What the pages are missing, this is an excerpt from what they call the user-friendly budget. So the remaining pages are all of the administrators that are required to post financial information in accordance with the rules. So those are the pages that are missing.
So, but my question is like, how are we as parents supposed to yes it or no it if we don't have the full budget? We want to see where the money is being allocated.
I gave you the financial portion of the budget. The rest is informational purposes, not financial. It has to do with personnel.
Okay, so I do have that right to see where that money is going to personnel.
Absolutely.
Is it going to the right people? Is it not going to the right people? You're showing me a slide. I can't go by a slide. You understand? Unless you want to give it to me and I can look at it at home. Are you willing to do that?
Actually, there is no vote on the budget because we switched the election to November.
But you just said that we can only speak on the budget. How can we speak on the budget when we don't have the accurate budget with us? You understand? It's not making sense. We're only seeing numbers. I want to see where each of these categories are going. You know, how much, because you are saying that it's going on trips. My grandson hasn't had a trip in 2 years. And I'm constantly sending money for plans. I'm sending money for book fairs. It's like I'm paying for the school, for his education, but there's no trip. So I want to see how many, you know, the school end is almost ending. A lot of these schools did not get trips. So I want to see where the trip money is going. I want to see how much his transportation is getting. I want to see how much special education is getting. I want numbers. I don't want a slideshow. For that, I could have stood home and seen Lorenz. I just want to see where is the money being allocated. Years ago, we were given a book size, and I still got them. Now, to me, you are hiding something from us. So either I get it, or I'm going to find out one way or another. And I'm going to keep pounding on your door, and I know you don't want to see me there no more.
You're welcome to visit my office anytime.
Yeah, but you're not going to give me the runaround like you do the other parents, because I know protocol. And I'll go over you because I'll go to Trenton, and you know I'm good at that one too.
Thank you for your comments. At this time, is there anyone in the public who would like to come and address the board in regards to the budget who did not sign up prior? Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing none at this time, I'm going to ask if any board members would like to make any comments. Please.
Madam President, if I may?
Yes, Mr. Trujillo.
I have a few questions and I ask for your patience while I ask them. First, I want to direct the question to Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, there was a slide there that I didn't get to see the whole thing. And just for clarification, what is the difference in special ed funding? I quote a number of $34,729,405. Is that a decrease or an increase in last year's budget?
Number presented, because if you remember I talked about the $242 million based in schools, which includes quite a few special ed categories. So I compiled the actual total special ed, including transportation. For 16-17, we're spending $84,867,872 versus $82,855,028 on special ed.
Okay, that just a clarification, that includes transportation. So
yes.
That doesn't necessarily equate to an increase in educational dollars in the classroom. That could be transportation increase cost.
Well, I have it breakdown. It's 40 for tuition and special ed classroom services. It's $42,986,746 this year versus $41,785,725. And
so that's an increase of $1 million?
Yes, and then for support services, speech, OTP, and PT, and the child study suite, and other support, that's $31,867,768 versus $31,474,522, and then transportation is $10,013,358 versus $9,594,781.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. The overall transportation throughout the district, we transport all the kids from the magnet schools, the high school, throughout the city, and we had moved back the line last year because of the cost of transportation. Are we moving back the line to the number? Was it 2.2 that we moved it to?
No, the line is going to stay the same.
It's going to stay the same, so we're not going back to the original Vermont Shield Act. Is there an increase in the transportation budget overall? I saw an increase in enrollment, and I also see a proposed increase in enrollment. And I'm wondering,
it's 17.8 million versus 17.5 million for transportation.
So nothing.
but yet the line doesn't change, so that's just operational cost. Are we servicing more children, or are we just simply operational cost?
That's the anticipated budget, including salaries for transportation.
Understood. I saw a surplus carry over in the balanced appropriation, approximately 2.1 million. That is being carried over from this fiscal year to the following year.
11 million being carried over to 16, 17.
11 million total. I remember leaving in the budget, because I know there's an EEA contract out there, and at one time that was discussed, leaving a portion of the surplus to perhaps settle that contract at one point, in anticipation of having to enter into an agreement with the EEA to increase salaries. Is that still in the budget, and if so, how much?
I'm not quite following.
It was my understanding last year that we had left money in the budget, and that the reason for that money was to be held for future payments to the EEA contract.
Yes, salary increase.
Salary increases. Where is that money? That money in the 11 million?
No.
Okay, where is that?
That would be, when we close out 15-16 school year, those anticipated salary increases, if they were settled and paid, they're not going to be accrued as an accrued expense.
And where would they be paid out of? The 11 million you're talking about?
No, that would be included in the expense, so it wouldn't fall down to the 11 million surplus.
Okay, so we're not budgeting for that.
It's budgeted, but it's a budgeted expenditure.
What would that line item be?
Throughout all the salary accounts within the 15-16 budget.
All right, I'm sorry, you're the accountant, so I'm a bit confused. We left in the budget approximately how much for salaries, for a potential salary increase last year's budget. Do you remember?
Hold on, Mr. Chair,
No, Mr. Rodriguez, I'd like Mr. Kennedy to answer.
no, I just would prefer Mr. Kennedy can tell you how much we put in, because that could be used, since we're in negotiations, to tell the public how much we put in.
It's all public information, Mr. Rodriguez. Nothing here is, everything here is on the table.
But it could affect negotiations. He can tell you that there's an increase, I would just caution not to tell how much, because I could,
Again, thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
negotiation.
Mr. Rodriguez, I prefer we don't interrupt me, just let me ask some questions. Mr. Kennedy, could you answer my question, please?
I would say that for 15, when we created a 15-16 budget, we built in an anticipated salary increase. I don't know if it's the proper time to spell out what that is, because we are negotiating.
What I'm asking for is the number that was in last year's budget.
Currently, 15-16, that's what I'm talking about. In our current year budget, there's an amount in budgeted salary for an anticipated settlement amount in 15-16.
Okay, and that is taxpayer money.
So the taxpayers have.
Taxpayer and state aid and.
Well, and the taxpayer has a right to know how much that money is. And I'm asking on behalf of the taxpayers, how much of that money is there? What is that money? We don't have a slush fund, do we?
It's not a slush fund.
Well, that would be, I'm sorry, Mr. Williams, I'm not talking to you, I'm asking Mr. Kennedy.
I just need to ask you a question. It's a polite question. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I just need to ask you a question. You asked a question about public dollars and where we are and the amount that will carry over. And And I'm asking you to take into account, when you ask the question publicly about those dollars, I'm asking you to please take into account the point made by Mr. Rodriguez, which is that we are in union negotiations. There's a 2% figure that has been made public, but to go beyond that discussion of the 2%, automatically gets us into a situation where in the middle of negotiations, you're asking for disclosures about how much we can reasonably be anticipated to spend. I ask you politely, as you go about these questions, and you're entitled to all the information that you want, to take into account that you could impact those negotiations by the very nature of what you're asking.
Duly noted, Mr. Williams. Again, Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Williams just brought a number of 2%. That 2% was 2% of what amount last year? What does that equal to last year's budget?
2% is approximately $6 million.
That's $6 million part of the $11 million?
No.
Thank you. Is there another 2% at $11 million this year?
No, the $11 million is after we report all our revenues and subtract all our expenses, including an accrual for a salary increase in 15-16. That's what's going to be left.
And how much is that?
$11 million.
He's worried about the money, and he's worried about paying less and lawyers.
Are there any significant, as one of the speakers said, we do have a financial part of it, and you did say the rest is employment stuff. So I guess this question is to the superintendent, Ms. Ubermeyer. Ms. Ubermeyer, I'm just concerned on one thing, and I'm sure you can clear this up. Could you tell us if there are any, I saw all the things we were keeping and all the things we were doing when we do a lot, and are we cutting anything that we should be concerned about education? Is there something that we are cutting educationally, or we're maintaining the same level of services or better?
I'm happy to report this is actually a maintenance budget, so we are maintaining all of the services that we are currently providing, all of the instructional programs that are currently being provided, will also be provided in the upcoming school year, and I referenced the expansion of various programs that this budget has been able to support.
Great. I congratulate you and your administration for presenting another balanced budget, and again, being good stewards of the city of Elizabeth taxpayers and their money, and the state of New Jersey provides the majority of our funding by presenting a budget. This is the fourth out of the fifth budget, I believe, that doesn't carry the levy to the local taxpayers, and still maintains a great educational experience for all our students, and provides outstanding services for everyone. I am concerned with some of the things we did. That's for another day. I'd like clarification on a couple of things that you did mention. I'd like to know what the Rutgers autism study, what's that entail, and what can we expect?
Certainly. So through our partnership with the Rutgers University, we have the opportunity to be able to examine the current level of services that are being offered in our district, everything from examining the curriculum to being able to examine the professional development opportunities that are made available, and at the end of it's a 2-year study, if I'm correct, they will be able to provide us their analysis of the level of programming that we are providing, as well as in comparison with other communities.
And the New Jersey Department of Ed IEP facilitators, how is that? Explain the dynamics to me of that. Is this individuals who are going to come in, these facilitators, into the district and help the staff that's currently doing these IEPs, and if so, how many for how long?
Certainly. So this was a recent conversation with the State Department, wherein the State Department offered us the opportunity to have IEP
facilitators to come in. The exact number of facilitators has not been made available to us yet, but simply in terms of the service that we provide. So anything ranging from the opportunity to sit in on various meetings with parents and to be able to facilitate conversations. That's essentially the service that has been offered, and certainly we felt that that would be a great opportunity for our district.
Awesome. I think it's a great opportunity as well.
But we will provide the board with an update with regard to exactly the number of our facilitators that State Department will make available.
I hope it benefits our children. I'd just like to say one last thing. It is in reference to, first I'd like to thank the administrators more than anything. I apologize for not recognizing so many for coming here tonight. I know so many had to leave. You're all doing a great job. We do a lot of hard work in our district. It's sincerely appreciated. I want you all to know that. I've supported last 9 budgets that I've had an opportunity, including this one, to be a part of. No budget is perfect. Not everyone gets everything they want. There's always somebody who's left out or feels left out, and that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, I believe I speak for everyone here when we say that we want to do the best we can with what we have and give every child an opportunity to a great public education. One of the biggest components to doing that is that we had a philosophy over the last 8 years that it's important to have parity throughout the district. It's important to be able to hire qualified teachers, pay them well to come in and to work in Elizabeth and not choose other districts to work in who pay better. And in order to do that, we've had to have a good relationship with the EEA. We've negotiated. I've been part of the last 2 contracts, and I think it's important that we consider that going forward. If we're going to continue the level of success that we've had in the city of Elizabeth, we must not forget the teachers, and we must not forget the support staff that actually create all the magic and do the hard work. So I think it's important that these negotiations go forward, and I want the EEA, I can see the EEA president here, Mr. Bill Cortico. I want you to know, Mr. Cortico, I've always supported the EEA and the work we've done. We haven't always agreed, but I can tell you that you have a friend here, and I look forward to negotiating a contract that is fair for your members and that will continue to provide parity across the board. Thank you. Thank you.
I also want to thank the Finance Committee, the Superintendent's Office, the Assistant Superintendents, Mr. Kennedy, all of our directors, everyone who assisted with putting this budget together. It was no easy task. We spent a countless number of hours, number of meetings that were not scheduled and had to be scheduled for us to discuss and meet for long hours. I think that we're able to present something that's tangible, that's transparent for the district. And I hope that you guys are able to, really support the Board of Education in our school district with this budget. Are there any other board members who would like to make comments before we yes, Mr. Neal.
Again, I just want to commend the administration on a great job. We have had established significant savings in a number of areas. And one of the key areas that we've been talking about and debating for many years and months is on legal costs, which we can see that last year we spent about $6.6 million. And this upcoming year, we're projected to spend only about $2.5 million, which is a savings of approximately $4 million. So that's some immediate outcomes that we can see coming forth out of this budget. And some of the surplus that we had anticipated on last meeting was to utilize $13 million, but we were able to reduce that down to $11.3 million. So a lot of fine-tooth combing of the budget and the the services that we provide. And I do want to let the public know that we are continually advocating with the Education Law Center to get some of the additional costs or additional fees owed to the district, which is approximately $60 million. Madam Superintendent, can you just elaborate on that a little bit to talk about some of these assessments and these services that we've lost over the years that we want to retain, and what that's going to look like moving forward as we work with the Education Law Center?
Certainly. Recently, David Sierra from the Education Law Center presented at one of our committees and shared with the committee members the urgency on the part of the Education Law Center to be able to pull together all of the formerly known as avid school districts and being able to review the loss of revenue over numerous years in an effort to be able to address the state legislature in terms and the Commission of Education to revisit the school funding formula and ensure that we are funded at an appropriate level. And we certainly are very excited by that as the opportunity to pursue. The Education Law Center has been successful in previous years, as we all know, so we are glad to participate.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. So again, I just want to commend everybody and the entire team for working on this budget and making sure that we can come to this point. And I want to thank all the administrators and public for attending this hearing and participating in this process. And we will do what we can to make sure that everybody has a copy of the budget moving forward. And I believe, as Mr. Kennedy said, that budget will be up as of tomorrow. Right, Mr. Kennedy?
That's correct. If we pass our resolution.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I just want to start with a question. Madam Superintendent, the Rethink program, I know a couple, it was last year, we had started to pilot it. How are we going to expand it this year? I mean, it's a great program.
Yes, so the Rethink program was only made available last year to certain grade levels. We are now expanding the Rethink initiative all the way up through 12th grade, so making every grade level accessible.
Great. And so it's an online program, right? Could you just...
I'm sorry.
It's an online program to help parents with children?
Yes, so it's both, it's an online program. Not only does it have a series of resources for our parents, but also for our teachers as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never seen that program. It's a great program. I just wanted to make a couple comments. I know we had a publicity to talk about the lead, and I know, Christine, I know you're very active on social media, so I was kind of taken back that this week you can see that the governor, actually, this goes for everybody, the governor of New Jersey actually moved forward saying, and actually asked the state legislature to put aside $10 million to make sure that every school district next year, 2016, 2017, tests all of its water in every school district. So while we were looking to do it on our own, we now have to take a look at what the government program is going to be, how fast they're going to be able to put it in, because if they can put it in, then we'll do it ourselves. So one way or the other, all the water will be tested either through state funds or through our own funds. One way or the other, it will all be tested this year. And it will be shown to the public.
And the
other thing also, I wanted to congratulate Stan, who is the chairman of the Finance Committee, and we worked a long hour along with the superintendent, the business administrator. Dr. Green now is retired, and we appreciate your help. I used to think that the superintendent, the business administrator, and teaching in the district is probably the hardest job in the district, but now I have a newfound respect for building principals and vice principals and how much work they have to do. Not only are they in charge of everything they're building, they're in charge of school budgets, they're asked to keep coming back, and somehow still find ways to run the buildings efficiently and provide a great education. So I really saw this budget process. I do want to congratulate the principals and the vice principals of every school in our district the amount of work that they have to do all year long, not on just the budget, but also making sure that every child inside the building gets a great education and provides actually a safe, emotional, and social environment. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. You don't have to be in there. You do, so we do appreciate it. Thank you. The last two comments, I know to colleagues over here on the board, Mr. Trujillo, Madam President put you on the negotiations committee 2 months ago, and Stephanie, I think you're the chairperson, is that right? Has he shown up?
Unfortunately, Mr. Rodriguez only has not.
All right, so, Mr. Trujillo, I know you have a lot of comments, and we had some issues about how much we put in the budget, and you made them public, but if you had shown up to those meetings where you were kicking and screaming to be a part of, and then you don't show up, it's kind of disingenuous there. So, I'm sure the chairwoman would love to have those meetings, to add your input, to add your expertise. As you know, we haven't gone through that process, and your expertise was needed. That's why I think Madam President put you on the negotiations committee to get your help on that. So,
Mr. Rodriguez.
Hopefully.
Mr. Rodriguez, the reason I was put on the negotiation committee is because Mr. Neuron can't serve on the negotiation committee because we voted to hire his business partner, Mr. Trujillo, and promote him to principal, and now he's conflicted. So be clear about where we're going.
You asked me
and I'm telling you why I was put on the negotiation committee.
You asked me not to
now we're on the record. Thank you.
Mr. Trujillo, you asked me not to interrupt you.
And you did.
Correct, and you did too. So please, thank you. Okay? We hope that you show up. You were put on the committee. Show up. Do your work.
Madam President, for the record, I won't show up because I'm on there simply because everybody else is conflicted.
Please.
Everyone else is conflicted. So we're going to tell the whole story. We have to tell the whole story. I'm not going to allow you to sit here and try to defame me and lie. You're lying. Tell the whole story. The reason I'm on the committee is because you're all conflicted.
Are there any other comments on the budget only?
Yes.
Thank you.
He's serious. He's going to open a can of worms and not expect nothing back. He doesn't do the work.
Good evening. I would like to thank everyone who worked on this budget. We all worked really hard to keep the children and the staff in mind, to do our best to make sure that we didn't cut any services. We're opening a new high school. We're not laying off, and we're not raising taxes. The bottom line is, it's for the children, and in order to teach our children, we have to have the staff and the manpower to open our schools, to clean our floors, and to teach them. And this being my first time around, being able to work on a budget with an amazing team, we brought to the table an amazing budget, and I'm proud of everybody who worked on it. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to ask someone to move the 10, the adoption of 2016-2017 school year budget.
The resolution, Madam President.
Second. It's been moved and probably second to accept the adoption of the 2016-2017 school budget. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
Cavallo.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Lee. Yes. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Passes.
Yes. They have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
If you would have a second to adjourn the meeting, roll call, please.
Amin.
Yes.
Cavallo.
Congratulations, Madam President. Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Passes.
I'm sorry. Our attorney to make a comment, so sorry. The meeting's not adjourned, but I will report. So, Ms. King, please, thank you.
just have a brief announcement today with respect to the lead testing. One of the speakers earlier tonight said that we were simply studying the situation, and I think it's good for everyone to know that we are in the process of going out for competitive contracting to actually select laboratory testing services, which will do two things: incorporate the new state protocol with expanded testing in each of the schools, as well as preserving our right to obtain the funding that the governor announced this week. We're not just studying it, we're going to go ahead and get ahead of everybody else in the state to get the testing started. Thank you.
Now we have a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a second to adjourn. Roll call, please. Can I get a low person? You can go again.
Cavalli.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Nina.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Pat.
Yes, meeting adjourned.